perceive this, like, "Oh, we'll just chill, we're gonna do this." Uh, let's just remind, like, yeah, the Apple one was so a contractual obligation.
Oh, yeah, 100%, 100%. Hopefully, it's the only one that they have for
Hope
the 12 days. Yeah. I I am suspecting that there's a Microsoft one, but, you know.
Maybe that's true.
But,
Uh,
shout out to Beth for calling this one. They give you your folders.
I'm excited. And I don't have a problem with them looking at what is popular in other programs and like adding the function, right? So it's very much like Canvas was, hey, we know you like artifacts over here, we're gonna add that here. Hey, we know that spaces just happened in Perplexity and projects also in Anthropic. We're gonna add that here. Like I'm fine with that. Yes. Give me things that work.
Well,
I don't
especially
care if you originated
yeah,
them or not.
popular in other platforms, then it it behooves you if you're trying to create the single, integrated platform that you add those features, or at least you a version of them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, CJ has made some really great points in the comments about that, you know, if it doesn't work for the developers, it's maybe not quite ready to roll out. And at the same time, yeah, I'm like we at this point we all know that we are the beta testers, right? That's just when you want beta testers, you're just gonna like toss it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree about not paying the top dollar though. Like, if if we're the beta testers, then we should get it for free. Like, just give us free access. It lasts for X amount of time. Oh, now it's out of beta. Okay, now we're charging for it. Sure, I get, that would be a little more acceptable. But yeah, if it's difficult to use and I'm paying for it, that isn't really acceptable. So yeah,
I think there is
totally that statement.
there's a point though when, we're not talking about the pro users, but for, like, just ChatGPT Plus, for $20, you're getting piece after piece after piece, right? So, like, that $20 becomes, like, we paid for it just for what it can do. Like, you're getting regular updates to it, and it's still $20. So,
I
I gotta
I get
figure.
that, and that does keep me paying for sure,
Yeah.
but I would like to shift the perspective that if you're using my time, then I need to be compensated for it. I shouldn't be compensating you because 'cause you're using me for data, you're using me for beta testing, you're using me for feedback, so give me the service, and that's why they have their free tier. That's why they have the free tier. I guess if you're plus, the argument is then it should be out of beta, or, along those lines. But I I can see that at the $20 price point, that's the, isn't that expensive? Are you really complaining or nitpicking? Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm cheat.
I believe you started Gwen is like, "Yes, pay me, that's excellent." So you may be starting a movement right here in our comments section. I have to say that I'm super excited about these quality of life updates. I wish that they had said that in your project, or, in your custom GPTs that you could now pick your model, and tweak some of those settings because that would be delightful. But I am like, "Yes, thank you for folders." Also, ridiculous that we, needed like this kind of, drop in order to do it, but I am happy.
No, it's a really nice update because there's so many that, like, I'm sure everybody has the left bar is just full and
Oh,
full of
absolutely. It's
conversation.
got hundreds on there easily. Yeah, no, it is the impact will be great, but the gravitas isn't on this announcement, right? It is a quality of life, but it's going to
Yeah.
very much help people's organization, and if you've gotta touch the ADHD, it's definitely gonna help you do that.
Well, the
Um,
2 the 2 ones they had, the Canvas and this one were like the they weren't like big announced, but they're like they actually for the regular user, it is a pretty significant thing
eh
to do, right?
right, no, absolutely. Yeah, And I like the when I was saying inverse of the custom GPT, because it's more of like, here's a shared back end of custom GPT. I wish they would have clarified specifically all of the tools and features that were connected, but it looks like the web search is on there. They did mention Canvas was accessible. Um, that should answer Andy's question. Yeah, so that you can access Canvas through it. It looked like, was it just accessing other documents, or did they pull in a custom GPT at some point? Because it visually it looks the same to me. So I was
It kind of looks. So I'm curious if it does pull it.
like, to send the email thing. Was that just a Canvas pull?
I don't know. It looked to me like it was pulling conversations, which is why I said it seemed like, Perplexity spaces so that you could, like,
Mm.
code you could group them all under a particular heading. They're calling them folders. Perplexity calls them spaces. I don't know, can you move something? I know, Anthropic has projects. I don't know if you can move existing conversations in the project or if you have to do them all from the
Oh,
project,
from the
so I'm not sure in
like
terms of timing.
that would be interesting too, is yes, can you drag and drop your previous conversation into a project, or do you have to start them anew? That'll that'll be I think
OpenAI implied that you totally could. That was something that they never
just start, because be would be kind of shooting themselves in the foot. It was like, "Oh, only new ones." I'm like, "Okay, but what about all my pre-existing ones? I'd like to order all those. Here's all my deep dive show, conversations," and those kinds of things. Going back to what Gwen was saying about the project management, this is why I wanted to know if had access to Dolly. Did it has access to Code Interpreter? Because, um I could see this being used as a project management tool if you could just constantly update a a timeline document, just like maybe I don't know if you could do it with Canvas, but if you had Code Interpreter, that means you could just update a new CSV or a new Excel or something like that, and keep your timeline there. You can visualize tables, right? Normally. So could you just ask, here is in the instructions, when you open this project, or the first thing that comes of the project, always create a visualization of the current version of document X, and that way everyone could see what's on the timeline. And then, uh, Carl, with your suggestion about connecting it to your OneDrive or whatnot, that's another way to keep those living documents there.
Yeah,
Constant.
because it's just another place where you have to upload. Like if you have a custom GPT, plus you have projects, you have to remember to keep uploading these things in the same piece. So maybe a future, I don't know if they'll do this like soon, but there actually is a repository. I don't know if that'll be a lot of like ChatGPT becomes like a hosting service too.
your OpenAI drive.
Well, because there is on the API side, right? Where you can store, was it 512 documents of a certain size to use as knowledge base for an assistant. So if you can call your own assistants
Correct.
through your ChatGPT interface, that
Right.
sounds like another great way to form integration. And then, if you could give API access as part of your ChatGPT account, that would be great. Plus,
But it doesn't automatically update, which I think is part of what Carl's saying, right? So I like, once I upload the document to be part of the assistant knowledge, it's made a copy of it. So I have to then update it there as well. It's not live updating.
That's ideally thing, right? Is to have your OpenAI folder or
mm,
whatever it is, and then your OpenAI drive where you upload everything and your projects, your custom GPTs, your regular chats are all pulling from that knowledge base, which that's funny
let
because your own operating system,
that's what I'm saying.
right?
I was just going on that. Yeah, because can you imagine if they had the internal mechanism to update any document in its knowledge base based on the memory. If you say
Yeah.
add this to memory, and memory is now a document space,
That'd be crazy.
that would be awesome, right?
But aren't we likely to do that with our own agents? Right? So that what I want something to be remembered as is something that I have control over, regardless of the systems that I'm using, right? We were just talking about that yesterday about there does seem to be a place where you get to a certain point in the code and, actually, I was talking about this with Rob Lennon yesterday, where you get to a certain place with a coding agent and then it almost doesn't matter where else you take it. It's just that agent can't see the box of the error that it's in. So you just need to pop that over to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever else you weren't using in that to get a fix from that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to the agent agnostic or agnostic agent question, right?
Right.
I think within the platform, it behooves OpenAI to add a feature like that. But I think any agent, your orchestrator is where that's gonna, really shine, is because this one's mine. This is my personal agent. It has all the abilities to connect everything, and that keeps you platform agnostic. But I think OpenAI, to achieve that idea of here's my fully integrated unified platform, nobody needs to go anywhere else. Here's the desktop app. You don't even have to go on the internet,
Mhm.
on the web. I could see them wanting to add that feature. One more reason why you don't have to leave and use somebody else.
Exactly, right? All to just either keep piece after piece after piece. Like, you're like, "Wait a minute. I don't need a OneDrive. I don't need a Google Drive when I can just edit, upload." Like, yeah. I think, though, there still has a point where you have to email the thing that you can't create a Word doc and, like, drag it into an email or attach it. I think that's still a missing piece where, like, you do a work inside, ChatGPT, but you can't, like, it's stuck there. Like, you can't just email it unless their agent allows you to connect to, let's say, Microsoft and be like, "Hey, email whatever's in ChatGPT, out you go." Right?
Yeah, I mean, like I've said it in the past, is there is already existing modular technologies, modules that you can plug in that are all on existing internet standards, copy paste, mail to, all of these things to trigger events all exist already. So just
Yes.
integrate those existing ones into your platform, and then replace it with your fancy LLM version or your fancy AI version once you've made it accomplished. But until then, give us the features because they exist already. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be that much of a lift for them. Don't they spend like $5 billion a year already? I mean, it's tricky.
There's also CJ's like, they may not be ready for prime time, and I will say that I had that experience in Canvas last night. On today's show, we used Play.ai's Play Note. I say Carl, did all the work, um, to show what a non-notebook LM, AI generated podcast would be. And I was editing the script for the podcast in Canvas, and it left some in its edit, it made some really good choices, but then it left sentences that didn't make any sense anymore below it because of the edit that just happened. So it isn't actually taking it like my vision was, "Oh, yay, you can see everything and you can know the ramifications of all of the edits. So you will know that quicker than I will because you're AI and I'm just a human."
Yeah.
And that was not true. So all right. Yay. Cool.
Right.
So we will not be here this weekend. We take the weekend off, so does OpenAI. We will be back on Monday, Monday through Friday with great shows at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and all new drops at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Yeah. Don't come at 1 a.m. I should not be here at 1 a.m. At 1
Be-
p.m.
Before we leave, do we want to do a quick prediction of what we think is going to come out next week? Just
For day 8 or the whole week?
the whole week. Like any big things.
Okay.
I'll go out on limb. I say day 12, some new version, some new model.
Okay.
Day 12.
4.5 or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your
Dolly.
Oh.
Dolly is one of them.
Okay.
And the only reason we're saying that for people who are watching, I mean, I don't know. The only reason I'm saying that is because Sam did an AMA on Reddit, maybe. And part of that conversation was that Dolly is being worked on and it's almost ready. So it just makes sense that that would be part of what this is. So I'm going to say Dolly.
I like Cisco's AGI on day 12. They have like a whole bunch of folders everywhere, apparently, on the phone, on the phone. So it must be available. They're just not allowed to talk about it.
I don't know if I love that it's a fun little Easter egg thing that they're doing, or they're super serious and it's happening. Which narrative is better?
Okay. OpenAI's documents say that when AGI gets achieved, then it's all open, right? All of the tech is for the good of humanity, and Microsoft is no longer able to access.
Do that, you.
So I think that's what they are redoing the deal right now. I have not seen that it got finalized, so I don't think we see AGI from OpenAI or Microsoft
No.
until the definition of what happens when that is achieved is worked out. So, yeah.
Okay, so the one I'm predicting for next week, maybe Wednesday, or a big day like a Thursday, or maybe Tuesday, maybe a Monday, I don't know, is a preview of Operator, their AI
Yes.
single, right? Every single company has already shown some sort of AI agent kind of use. Google, Google and Anthropic. So it just makes sense that the preview for something pretty cool has to be out to showcase that.
I think that would actually be bigger than just another model.
That would have to be a bigger.
Yeah. So I would say if they announce whatever kind of model it is, whatever new model it is before day 12,
Mhm.
then that's day 12.
Could be the last
Okay.
day
Yeah.
kind of harp.
To our operator.
Do you think day 12 though? Is it a Friday or is it a Thursday?
No,
Or is it-
day 12 is
Would it make sense? The 12, it would make sense. Like a Thursday wouldn't make any sense. The day 12 would be huge.
right. No, it was weird that they started on a Thursday, right? Like just some random Thursday to announce ChatGPT Pro and O1 like full release, but it is because they're ending like they counted back from the day they wanted to end, which was Friday the 20th.
So for all those listening, one trick you could do, if you haven't already, OpenAI usually has the names of the people who are going to be on that demo that day, that drop that day. If it's Sam, it's probably something big, but also because of like the vision, you can just go to LinkedIn, find the person who is part of the drop team, and then find out what they're working on. You can kind of like piece it together what exactly is up. So when I saw the Rowan who is like working on AV, I was like, oh, it's vision. Like there's only one reason why this person's not going to be in for a Canada's update.
Take it from us. Carl is our resident Sherlock when it comes to AI rumors. So that's the trick there. Everybody in chat, come tomorrow. Bring your prediction, or not tomorrow, Monday. Come. No, sorry. What is the weekend? Just more AI days. All right. Come back on Monday and just blast all of your predictions. We start like 5 minutes before the live stream comes up, and then just let us have it. Let us know everything.
Like the craziest stuff too, like things that you may not even happen, but just like give us whatever you think will happen.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's see what it is. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
And I can tell you that I can't tell you what we're talking about next week because we have not totally finalized it. But I can tell you on one of the days we will likely talk about Gemini's drops because holy wow, there are some very
Yeah.
cool things about that.
Yeah.
So thanks. Have a great weekend.
Aloha.